Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of Coco and the Sun podcast. Um, Today is going to be episode 14, and we are going to read Bringers of the Dawn, chapter 7, which appears to be a pretty longish chapter. I always think I can do 2 chapters a day, but then I can't. Like I get tired after one. And my mouth get dry and I don't worry about my lips being dry and all of this thing. And I just feel like done with one chapter. But I mean, if I can do 2 a day, it'll make this process go a lot faster. But also like in terms of attention spans, so maybe one a day is better. So that we're not overwhelming ourselves and having to process all this information and thereby like leaving out information that we need to process. So I could just go through the chapters before and just highlight the important ones, like what I did with chapter 1. The reason I started reading it is because I got, my sleep dream things that I always have, the sleep and wake. I heard like to read the book. So I am trying to honor that and read the book chapter by chapter and see where it goes. So today, my understanding I got was that I wrote it down. I create my life, I think. I define my life. I define everything in my life. I define my life. I define my life. No one defines it for me. I define it for myself. And I'm getting like all this stuff, and it's all really good. And I'm trying to really believe it down to my core and know it to be true. But because I don't see it play out yet in my physical reality, um, the belief is or the knowing is wavering. So I have moments where I believe it like wholeheartedly, and then I'll think like, but nothing's showing up. And so like, but then like I feel like that is part of the human experience. Like that's how we move forward, this back and forth thing. It's how we move, right? It's not just like that. It's like this, I think. So I think even that back and forth, wanting to see the evidence of it, to know that it's true, to build the faith, to build the knowing is a fair ask. And it's how things are built. So yeah, so that's where I'm at today. I feel like I'm hovering back and forth with knowing these things to be true, but not seeing it play out and wondering if they are true. So I don't know. If any, how long does has anybody done this type of stuff? Like, how long does it take to kind of play out? I have a feeling it's based on how well you believe it to be true and continually like believe it to be true, right? I think that has a part to play in how soon it comes into your existence, into your life. Um, yeah, and trying to stay in the moment and think about good things, things you want to do, things that bring you joy. I shared today actually some of the little paintings I've been doing. I've bought like watercolors like in December. I was kind of back. I'm not like an artist at all. I'm really very messy. I don't stay in the lines. It's never gonna, I'm not gonna draw, I'm not gonna painting. But I did want it to see my own self-expression and what it would look like. And also use it as an exercise of loving my imperfections and loving my expression, whatever it was. So I got some watercolors. I also got like pastels. I didn't know which medium I was gonna like, and I wanted to play around with it and just see what came out. It was really, really a good exercise. Like I'm loving it. And although like the paintings are not masterpieces, it's just really cool to see what I can do and where my mind goes and the colors I put together, the colors I like, colors I think of certain things as, and stuff like that. So I'm really enjoying it and loving it, even though I know it's not like, professional art or anything like that. So I did share that on my Instagram at Coco in the Sun podcast, CocoAindesun, if you want to take a look at it. If anything, it is a bit entertaining. I found it entertaining. I laughed at a few of them. So I wanted to check it out. I did it as an exercise, in being seen and vulnerability because I feel like hiding is such a safe thing to do. And the more that I get confident in being who I am, regardless of if I'm not perfect, the more I am okay with being seen. And I think I was okay with being seen and with it not being perfect. So I did share them. If you want to check it out. What else did I get? I feel like I got another thing that I wanted to tell you guys about. Hmm. I don't remember right now, though. Hmm. Can't remember. Okay, so here we go with the Bringers of the Dawn, chapter 7. I have the light here, but I have my glasses and get it. I don't think I need the glasses. We will see. We will see. Chapter 7, the multi-dimensional merge. Okay. You benefit by participating in the event of life. By simply being in physicality, you are endowed with experiences and characteristics that you cannot gather anywhere else. To be part of physicality on Earth at this particular time during the last 200,000 to 300,000 years is a very potent event indeed. Because it means that you have come into a place where darkness has been reigning. You have had to struggle to open your eyes in any capacity and to recognize joy and upliftment. If you think back over modern history, you will find that it has been a rare event indeed for people to have had uplifting lives. Therefore, you must birth up upliftment for yourself, and you must convince yourself that you can do it. The nature of existence on Earth has been a struggle between light and darkness for many eons. Some would call it a struggle between good and bad, or upliftment and evil. We will simply say that it is an event and a place where certain laws and rules exist, and that Earth is certainly not the only place in existence that deals with these kinds of challenges. You are unique in that the biogenetic structure you operate within has much greater capability than you have ever dreamed of. It is so interesting to watch you perform within these struggles because you have been convinced that you can utilize only a small percentage of your potential. In actuality, you are grand creatures designed in the image of gods. Even gifted with this incredible potential, you have been controlled to such an extent that the potential has been denied its own existence. Wow, potential has been denied its own existence. That's another level to me. of being in bondage, that even your potential. I think we could probably though draw comparisons to slavery and the people still finding their potential and still finding joy and still finding upliftment and still finding freedom. Yeah, I think so. Most people use only 3 or 4% of their capabilities. Those who are more advanced may use 12 to 15% of their capabilities. Where does that leave most people? Where's the other 80 to 90%? What can that 90% of capabilities do? That 90% is awakening now, and the ancient eyes are going to begin to remember and see what the self is capable of being. When the ancient eyes are open and you recognize your true potential, you will stop arguing with yourselves. You will stop arguing for limitation and will begin to move beyond the things that you insist on using to hold yourself back. In ancient Egypt, it took many lifetimes for the initiates trained in the precepts to completely open their eyes to other realities. Many lifetimes? They were trained to reincarnate into certain families and to remember who they were. Mothers and fathers understood who they would be birthing because they would dream of it. They would know who was coming into their bodies before they even moved into conception. The eyes were much more open then and could see into many different realities. They were called the eyes of Horus. You know, I love the eyes of Horus because they could look into many different worlds. The world of waking and the world of sleeping, the world of death and the world of dreaming. So these are the type of worlds they have: the world of waking, the world of sleeping, the world of death, the world of dreaming. So the world of sleeping is different from the world of dreaming. I wouldn't have thought that. You who are wanting to open your ancient eyes and who are the masters of awakening have experienced training in many other lifetimes. It is now your time to integrate this training into a body and into a system that has nothing to do with temple life, into something that is not waiting to give you a place for your abilities. You are renegades, so your society is not waiting for you to bring your gifts forward as it was in ancient Egypt. There's no place to put these talents to work within officialdom, no sex within society. This is not how you are living yet. So you will go at the pace that the body and soul and mind deem appropriate for the use of your talents. Do not chastise yourself for not accelerating at the rate that your ego deems appropriate. Again, the ego wants to go faster, faster, give me more. The ego has eyes that see one part of yourself. The soul, or the eyes of Horus that look through you, has a completely different vision of what is appropriate. Knowing your needs, your constitution, and your blueprint, you will operate at a pace that will keep you intact. I think it's important to be intact because I was thinking if all that information came at once, it could blow your mind, right? It could be a lot of information and it could overwhelm. Mental institutions are filled with people who opened their ancient eyes and couldn't make sense of it or figure it out. They cannot find their home station. Without a place to plug into, the delicate balance of the nervous system is upset. You know what? That's why they talk so much about grounding yourself here. You ground yourself here, I think, for me, by being love to yourself here in this physicality and doing loving things in this physicality for yourself, but also like doing things that are normal for this earth. So, of course, go outside, go in nature and stuff. I love doing that. Barefoot, connect, going into like natural water resources that are part of earth and stuff. But like also like doing so like I watch Miami Housewives. I love Miami Housewives. I think it's the only housewives I look at. New York is kind of good too, y'all. But anyway, I allow myself, I don't watch Love and Hip Hop. I couldn't watch it. It was just too much trauma for me. I used to watch Atlanta too, but I stopped. It got a little boring for me. But Miami and New York seem to have just the right amount of um not hurting each other too much and finding resolutions and solving the human miscommunications that we have, the interactions are based off of our ego and our filters and stuff like that. So that I feel like I am still grounded here. So I watch those two and I really like that. And I just find stuff that I like to do, love food. Like, I think food could be grounding. Especially if you like it. I really like to cook now. I don't really like, or not cook if I buy food, like fresh food. Like I'm not into fast food like I used to be before. And I used to love fast food. Like Burger King, McDonald's fries. I don't know, Chinese food. Now I can only eat Chinese food from one place, and that's because it tastes fresh. It tastes like she just make it, and the vegetables are fresh and crunchy, and I like the vegetables. And but I like cooking, right? I like a sweet potato, white sweet potato, the Trini sweet potato, not the yellow one. And callaloo and macaroni pie and stewed chicken and red beans and lentil peas and soups, you know, and Jamaican red peas soup and Jamaican peas and rice and peas, jig chicken. Um, what else? I just like and pasta, but like fresh pasta, like authentic, not store-bought stuff, you know, and the seasonings, the real seasonings, and you put the seasoning in a little bit of olive oil before, and you let that little saute and how all those flavors are released in the food and stuff like. Oh, I find all those things are quite grounding. So have a feeling love and relationship grounds here as well if you have loving relationships here. So with your friends and family, or if you have a divine partner, hit the jackpot there because yeah, I think that's really grounding and you're able to enjoy an aspect of physicality that's quite beautiful and will link both worlds. Yeah. Haven't found my divine partner yet, but anyway, all that to say, like I think like if you had all this information come in, yeah, it could blow your fuse mentally. And so that's why it's important to ground and do things within your day that sitting in the sun that can ground you here and still make you know your bearings, right? Still be aware of where you are. Because it could, I think it has the potential to disorient you. Okay, we continue. Sorry with my sidetrack. You are rapidly developing your nervous systems, and there are ways to recognize it. Every once in a while, you're able to catch the pulsation that takes you out of physical reality as you know it, out of the frequency that is third-dimensional reality. You are then able to move into another vibration and see, feel, and recognize that something out of the ordinary, something extraordinary is going on. It is usually then that denial comes in, because if the logical mind can't explain what is happening or get a grip on it, you deny the experience or block the memory of it. It is best if you stay in your intuition. If you rely on what you feel, and even though it may not make logical sense, operate with trust. Operate with trust, full stop. Impatience is a trap of many of you because you feel you need to move somewhere. Don't deny the virtues of the turtle who moves very slowly, stops to go inside and contemplate, is close to the ground, and sees very well. When you desire an acceleration in this opening of the ancient eyes, state your commitment. Thought is, thought creates. If your thought is that you wish to move into I feel like I should. Y'all think that? I should highlight it. Thought creates. Thought creates. If your thought is that you wish to move into an acceleration with the greatest growth and ability, that is what you will do. When you doubt, the doubt is a thought too, and it will also create itself. When doubt occurs, it stops the expansion process because you deny the subtlety of what is coming to you. It is very subtle. That's why you can miss it. Yeah. You are in the decade that we have labeled the unnamed decade, the 1990s. It is through this time that all the great events are going to begin to occur upon Earth. Many events have already been occurring, but they have been sequestered away in little compartmentalizations of officialdom. Officialdom now outgrowing its own outfit and can no longer fit within its boundaries because it does not hold reality as it truly is evolving. I have to be careful I don't disturb the dog because the dog is very comfortable at my feet. He's my little spirit friend. I think our spirits are alike. Like we get each other. You think of your pets as your spirit friends, and you just think of them as like pets. Like I feel like he understands me. And I feel like I understand him. Like I understand what he's trying to say when he stand up at 8 o'clock and he's ready to eat. Where is my dinner? Okay, 8 o'clock is his calling card. I was reading this book by Dolores Cannon. I forget the name of it, Between Death and Life or something. And no, it wasn't that one. It was the one with Jesus. I think it's They Walk with Jesus. And she was saying that the person she regressed, right, past life regression, she in the time that she was in had a bird, a dove that would help her teach the kids about the divine and God and who they are in the aspect of life. She had a bird and she said the bird was her spirit friend. Every time since that, I think of the dog as my spirit friend. Because I feel like he's my friend. But we don't speak the same language, but we can understand each other, you know? Anyways, it's funny too. My daughter I just spoke to my daughter before doing this podcast, and so she thought I said I speak to the dog. I was like, well, no, I don't really speak to the dog. What you mean? Like a conversation. Like I don't have a conversation with the dog like that. But I would say, I love you. You're my little friend. Did you have a good day? But like I don't talk about like, how my day was or if there's something I am contemplating or pontificating on, to discuss it with him. No, I have to talk to a human about that. Maybe my higher self. Do you think pets have higher selves too? And my higher self speaks to his higher self? I think I might be going off tangent with that. Yeah. Okay. Back to the story. Those of you who are ancients, who are the master's awakening, as you're awakening, we want you to be able to see out of the ancient eyes and to awaken something that you know, something that you remember, something that is deep inside you. You are going to need to trust yourself and rely upon yourself. You need to be able to see, to understand what you're seeing, and to translate the grander vision for others. You will come to an understanding or a vast implosion of consciousness that will move you to know who you have always been. I think I need glasses with everything looking a little fuzzy. Who we have always been. Who we have always been. It is up to you and only you to undo the locks and allow yourself to go forward. We have spoken about your beliefs and the importance of thought. we emphasize over and over again that you are a result of thought. That thought is, and that this is the essence of understanding, manipulating, and working within your world. When you begin to take this process from the intellect and put it inside the body, and when you begin to commit to live your life this way, then the ancient eyes will really begin to see. As you begin to view your soul's history, your identity in this particular body, the I may seem to be very insignificant. You had a magnificent essence expressed on this planet in very ancient times, and there's so much more going on than you can presently perceive. It is as if existence is a book 3 feet thick, and you are on the first couple pages on this planet with the awakening of the new age. You are going to go through this whole book in your lifetimes. As you compute all of this information, the story will flood your consciousness as you begin to drop the boundaries of where you think you and civilization existed and came from. As you begin to disassemble your identity, cherish, honor, and love the variety of identities that are you, and do not feel that any of them are significant. Honor each one, whether you are picking strawberries in the fields or looking for cigarette butts on street corners. Allow the aspect of self that carries the primordial fire to express itself through you. You can still be the I. Oh Lord. You can still be the I when it is appropriate to be the I. Then when the vastness of energy wishes to utilize your physical vehicle as part of the plan to affect reality, the I is not annihilated. Instead, the I is incorporated. This is becoming multidimensional. This is being able to move. You each know that you are here in a time sequence that is quite profound. The age that has been written about, whispered about, and spoken about is upon you. It is the age when humanity physically mutates before your eyes and literally turns into something that it was not a short time before. What do human beings turn into? It is quite simple. Human beings turn into multi-dimensional beings. Multi-dimensional, would that mean being able to live in different dimensions at one time? So I can't like comprehend it or imagine it. Like, but maybe I'm not supposed to at this time. This is a big word and a big concept. However, it is something that will be as familiar to you as tying your own shoes. Multidimensional humans are humans that consciously exist in many different places all at once. Humans are mutating or evolving into beings with the ability to flip from one station to another and to understand the grandness of who they are. That they do not end where their skin ends. Human beings do not end where the aura or etheric body ends. They exist in many different realities. This is the age of the multidimensional self, the self who can move with awareness into many different realities, the self who can actually bilocate and disappear, the self who can move into fourth dimensional consciousness, the perceiver, not the thinker. It is the age of the self who understands that the thinking portion of the self is very important, but it is not to be the CEO of the physical body. It is to be an advisor. Intuition is the avenue that you're now being guided to cultivate to bring about a marriage of consciousness. It is the marriage of the male aspect, which is logical, and the female aspect, which is feeling. It involves bringing them together to become one. It is time to get moving. You are at a very crucial point, and it is time for a huge change, a huge leap, a giving up, a releasing, and a letting go. It is time to completely allow light and spirit to move you throughout your existence, and time to let yourself become one with the multidimensional aspects of self and portions of self that you have no idea exist. These aspects of self do exist. They are connected to you and are using you, the standard bearer of your soul, as the vehicle of movement for light in this universe at this time. Those within our group who plotted the probabilities of Prime Creator were correct in much of their time travel and anticipation. Indeed, Prime Creator is sending a change of vibration to this area of existence, this free will zone of consciousness. The action is taking place here on Earth now. It is starting here at this corner of your galaxy on the fringes at this end of the universe. This is a vast experiment, and it is with great excitement and great longing that each of you came to participate in it. Have courage. We cannot emphasize that enough. Have courage. Follow your inner guidance and trust yourselves. Call energy into your physical bodies and utilize it. Defy the laws of humanity because that is what you came here to do. You are renegades, and we are renegades as well. Okay, I have to highlight this thing. Have courage. It's like italicized. Let me have a little sip of my little. I like this glass. It's like a mug and it's iridescent and have a little gold spoon and it just feels real special when I drink it. It's a lemonade. You know what I like? Lemonades with jalapeno and a little orange juice. It's like a mocktail for a margarita. Put a little salt on the rim. It's good. I don't know why I like this spicy drink, but that's not what I'm drinking now. This is just lemonade. There are those who cannot travel this route of consciousness, and that is fine. So it's not an easy route that we move your consciousness through. The route will give you rewards that your soul is after, even though the rewards may come through battles. Oh goodness, I don't like battles at all. I cannot stand a battle. I like ease. I like ease and gentle integration. You are bushwhacking through consciousness, and you will come to a place where the vistas are grand and you have completely new options about where to go, both on and off this planet. Those who are involved with you will discover that they have new options as well. All of the consciousness drawn to this planet at this time will begin to spark evolution that will change the universal structure. Think big. Think really big and go for it. You remember that time I told you would say it's like, think big, bitch. Think big. Love yourself, bitch. Love yourself. Think big. Think big and go for it. I think I'm going to do that. Risk it all and see. Where does it all lead? Is it worth losing everything to find out? I think I want to. I think I'm willing to risk it all. I think I'm willing to risk it all, y'all. Anyways, who are these multidimensional selves? Many times you have been led to believe that there are other portions of yourself that are much more together than you are, and that know much more than you do. To some extent, that was true, and to some extent, it is still true. However, you will find that in being the standard bearer of your soul, you will begin to activate data that is stored inside your body that carries your whole history. How will you know when these aspects of self begin to show themselves? This can be very subtle, or it can be like being hit over the head with a 2x4. It simply depends on the self. You may be sitting one day and find all of a sudden that upon blinking your eyes, you are sitting in a different room that is getting hit over the head with a 2x4. More subtly, You may be walking down the street looking at a window display when suddenly a mannequin or picture or word triggers something inside of you. For a moment, you drift off and get a clear image of a simultaneous identity of yours existing at the same time as you. I haven't experienced any of this yet. You will begin to discover aspects of yourself that exist non-physically, or parts of self that exist as beings working in space who are truly space creatures. The soul is going to wake up. It will know every aspect of itself, and every aspect of the soul self will know it all, will know of all of itself at once. I'm going to read that part over. It will know every aspect of itself, and every aspect of the soul self will know of all of itself at once. You will be aware of all realities at once as you learn to ride the vibrational rate and become fourth dimensional. You will develop this ability by first balancing 3 or 4 realities, then 5 or 6, and so on. You are awakening prime creator's abilities and will become your prime creator. You will become your own prime creator. Your prime creator's goal is creating this universe and all other universe. Okay, your prime creator's goal in creating this universe and all other universes was to develop itself to such an extent and have so many multidimensional channels of data open that it, whose consciousness is in all things you know, can become aware of itself in all things, aware of every event that all things are involved in, and compute this and not go insane. You are evolving that ability in yourselves. Basically, the part that you are presently going through is the toughest part because you are doubting and wondering if it is really real. The body says one thing and the mind says another. The body says one thing and society says another. The knowing is growing and it is knowing of what is awakening inside of you. You must be committed all of the time. When these gifts and abilities begin to be first-hand experiences for you, you must learn to work with them no matter what. Begin to know that you are divinely guided and that all events are drawn to you for your upliftment, no matter what kind of upheaval you seem to produce in your life. Ultimately, these events will make you richer. The present situation is like someone dumping barrels full of gold on in your backyard and saying, "Gosh darn it, the gold is wrecking the grass." You think the lawn isn't as beautiful as it used to be because all of that gold is being dumped there. Whenever you get experience, learn to participate in it. Be a full participant in your physical body. Enjoy it, have a good time with it, and learn how to simultaneously observe your experience. The impact of your experience, the effect your experience has on other people and yourself, and the results you get from all your experiences. Then, whenever something of an extraordinary nature comes into being, you can say to yourself, "Oh, goody, goody, here it is again. What can I learn from this?" When you are not having these experiences, begin to fantasize, to take charge of your life and to act as if you can command or move one of these experiences the next time it sneaks up on you. You can do this the same way you may have learned to come awake in a dream and command that you not be chased by boogeyman or to make the bell ring when you are just about to get an F. You must, as individuals and as a species, cultivate this kind of belief or intention over all experiences of life. There is a convergence of yourselves about to occur on this planet. The selves that you are going to meet are coming from all over the universe. There are selves that petrify you when you think about them, and selves that you could die of a heart attack looking at. They are selves that are you. Earth is going through an initiation at this time. You are going through an initiation because you are part of Earth and you cannot separate yourself from the system. Earth is transforming itself and intending to act as a domino of your solar system. It is intending to merge multiple worlds into one, to be grounded enough to allow all those worlds to exist. and to translate the experience. It is what Earth is up to. This is what Earth is up to. So, of course, you all must be up to the same thing. The 3D world is heading for a collision of dimensions. Not a collision of worlds, a collision of dimensions. Many dimensions are going to come crashing into each other. Some of these dimensions may seem horrifying and very frightening. The test, the initiation, and initiation always means to move through another reality to conquer it and transmute it. It's to be faced with these energies and entities that seemingly are of incredible darkness, and to understand that they are coming to merge with you because they are you. Jesus. Jesus. What? They are part of your multidimensional self, and you are the standard bearer, and you are light. Dark will come to light. Be very clear when you deal with these things. If you are hesitating about something, do not do it. Be clear. We define light as the promoting, dispensing, and sharing of information. Dark is the controlling and withholding of information. Think about this and feel it. You have come onto this planet with a coded blueprint to carry light and to bring about a huge planetary transformation. You have come to be the standard bearer of your soul, the portion of your soul that is going to lead. The portion of your soul says, I set the pace here, and the pace is light and information. No more being in the dark. Have you ever thought that there are portions of yourself that are in the dark that don't know how to find the light except through you? They want the light as well. They want solutions and answers. What you may feel is not necessarily the intent of the dark force, but the emotional makeup of the dark force, the fear that vibrates out of lack of information. Portions of yourself that are uninformed are going to come to you to be informed. How do you inform them? You shed light, you share light. You say, I intend for all of my other selves to come along on this journey and for them to get light as well. It is quite simple. The battle between light and dark doesn't really serve you. Oh my. It is part of the separation story that keeps you confused. In actuality, they are simply aspects of individual souls taking different guises in conflict with themselves. You are battling yourself. The battle of light and dark and good and evil is only between portions of yourself. These portions are multidimensional extensions or reincarnations of the same collective of energies that you are a part of as an individual. Because you don't understand something, you fear it. As separated forms of consciousness that are part of the prime creator's game, you are in a universe that is made up of dualities. Prime creator brought this universe into being with the components of free will so that free will could lead to chaos and then to a realignment of energy and a realization of the creator within all things. With free will, all things are allowed and oppositions occur. These oppositions split off of the self just as the prime creator is in all things and allows all things. The things you meet that you fear are you. So when you focus on the story of good and evil and you want to figure it out, all you need to realize is that you are playing ball with another aspect of yourself that allows you to play ball from your point of view. So-called evil serves as a great purpose. You must judge it because it seems bad. You just judge it because it seems bad. As members of the family of light, when you exist in other places, you move into various aspects of yourself and play the parts to perfection. When you came here, you entered the density of the planet and worked with the double helix, which is barely functioning. So you forgot many things. Now, as you come awake and realize what you can become, you are leading yourselves to what the realization that you are your enemy. As members of the family of light, you have access to a tremendous amount of understanding that others do not have. You came in with it, and you're being reminded of it, and you are now learning it and accepting it. Part of your task is to allow yourself to merge with yourselves that seemingly are enemies and are separated from you. These selves are within all varieties of existence. The task is also for you to carry the frequency of love, which is the frequency of creation and light, which is the frequency of information throughout the collection of your soul. You have come together as a soul to gather experience and enrich Prime Creator. As you separate and go off and act with free will, however you choose, without judgment, so that you can gather the proper information and bring you to wholeness. This good and evil thing is something that can entrap you if you do not get beyond it. You are a collection of an incredible wealth of personalities who incarnate in many different systems of reality. As members of the family of light, you come into this reality to bring information, and you do so in many different systems. There are versions of yourself that are doing the same thing within the communities of lizards, insect beings, and bird beings. You are a collection of personalities. As members of the family of light, the reincarnational experience of yourself includes non-human forms. A characteristic that members of the family of light have in common with one another is their participation in many versions of sentient or composite reality. Many of the forms that you have chosen to incarnate within would look very foreign and be very frightening to you, yet this is how you have evolved your soul. You do not incarnate in only one species, you are travelers. As you are in disguise as humans, you may be in disguise as lizards or something else. You do this so that you can unite yourself to understanding the essence of Prime Creator through a variety of species that seemingly have nothing in common. As members of the family of light, you know the inside scoop. You come as ambassadors to make realities merge and become more informed within themselves so that everyone involved can release fear and become uninhibited. Part of your job is to meet these other selves, to merge with them, and to feel what this is like. Ideally, you will become multidimensional travelers and will be able to take the force from your body. You may be working in the field, perhaps gardening or chatting with someone or picking strawberries, and something strikes you, a sound. You excuse yourself and say, I'm being called, I will return later. You go and sit and allow your current earth personality to depart with conscious awareness. You then take that personality to where it is needed to add to the family of light's capability in that reality. You will know it. You will all become multidimensional players. You will think nothing of it when one of you excuses yourself from the others when you hear the tone and are called. You will travel with conscious awareness, and entertainment will come from the self. You will not seek to read books or listen to tapes or go to movies, for you will be living those things. As you bring the abilities of the family of light to this planet, others are not going to want you to be here because you will not fit with their gods. Not everyone wants to be free. You, as members of the family of light, are going to create a new earth that is going to be free. Those who do not wish to be free will have their earth as well. There will be a splitting and a time separation. Members of the family of light know that there is no need to force anything. You are simply to work together in harmony to support one another and seek one another out so that you feel comfort in what you do, because some of the things that you do will be very outrageous. Each of you volunteered to come here at this time to carry a frequency. Understand that frequency is light, but eventually you will learn how to carry the frequency of love. The large majority of you have no idea what the love frequency can be. You talk about love and light, yet you do not comprehend the ramifications and the true meanings of them. Light is information, love is creation. You must become informed before you can create. Do you understand this? I have to highlight that. You must become informed before you can create. Mhm. As you grow and come to see higher realms of recognition, you will break through what feels like cement blocks, layers of yourself that have held you down. Think of the frequency that has limited the human experiment to a radio station. The human experiment has had one radio station on for 300,000 years. Same old tunes. The human experiment was unable to turn the dial and hear a different band, so the same frequency was broadcast. This created a quarantine, a sealing off of the planet. The creative cosmic rays sent by Prime Creator and the original planets pass through this frequency shield. They bombard Earth. However, they must have someone to receive them. Without a receptacle, these receptive cosmic rays would create chaos and confusion. You, as members of the family of light, come into the system to receive these rays of knowledge. You then disseminate the knowledge, the new lifestyle, and the new frequency to the rest of the population to alter the entire planet. As members of the family of light, you are here to anchor frequency and allow the mutation process to happen inside of your bodies so you can make it available to the planet. You live this process. Then you broadcast it to the planet. What does that mean? It means that eventually your reality is going to change and that how you deal with reality will change. You will stop being you as you know you. You will become more connected with all of the other yous who are looking to make the same leap of consciousness as this you. This process involves meeting and merging and using the multidimensional self. As you reach higher knowledge, you realize you are not alone and that there are multitudes of self. You are challenged to understand this. There is no reaching higher knowledge without going through the multidimensional self. This means coming into full realization and experiencing meeting and merging into a collective of intelligence existing in the ever expanding now beyond time and space. Well, that was a mouthful. Believe us when we say that you, as members of the family of light, made a vast study of the historical manipulation that has been going on this planet. Just as anyone sent on assignment would be trained for a long period of time before they were sent out into the field. Each of you has been trained and you have the knowledge inside you. Our part is to hit key chords and play your consciousness into activity so you can go ahead and make the tune or song or dance you are prepared for. Jeez. Your knowledge is inside of you. And as you agree to discover it, it will awaken on deeper and deeper levels. You will become very self-sufficient. Those of you who agree to this, you will become incredibly knowledgeable. Those of you who do not, stop because you are frightened. We will say to you very honestly that fear will always play a part in your evolutionary process. So get used to it. Do not feel that fear is bad. When you succumb to your fears and allow yourself to buy into them, then you must cycle through them and experience all you feel so that you can overcome them. Begin to say, I will transmute this fear. I will understand that it is part of the plan. I will understand that it can serve me. Remember your power and your ability to create reality through your will ends where your fear begins. And we will tell you life is meeting fear. Begin to look at the events of your life and how you create them. Understand that you always create them to serve you. You are trained for this. You are coded for this. So that is the end of chapter 7 on this February 22nd, 2024. Today is the 2/2 portal. It's supposed to be a day where we create our realities. So what reality are you going to create for yourself? What are you going to bring into existence? I know what I would like to create for myself. And I am standing in the knowing that I am my reality and I create the reality I want with my thoughts and my feelings. And in living in the moment and following my heart's desire and joys in every moment that I can. And understanding that the fear and the doubt does come and it does slow down the process. But that as I do this process more and more, it will come less and less, and I'll become better at creating. And it's practice like all things. It'll take practice. Yeah. Just like I'm steady and I know I can walk now, I don't think twice about it. When I was a baby learning to walk, I fell down quite a few times and I kept on going. So yeah, I think that's the way I'll look at it. Anyways, chapter 8, which we'll do on the next podcast episode, is called Outside the Ultimate Tyranny. That's our next chapter that we're going to do. So I hope you have a great evening, that you are loved and know that you are loved, that you experience love in all its beautiful, beautiful ways, and that you experience unconditional love, the truest, best gift in the whole world, that you see your beauty and your ugly and you love them all because they all make you you, and by extension all makes us as a collective. Yeah. Anyways, until next time, my beautiful, beautiful beings on this planet called Earth, have a good night.